Here is what CM Punk had to say about potential big matches to up Rocks that are left for him. So for AEW, he said, from a creative mind standpoint, stepping back and looking at the landscape of everything, there are people in WWE that I've wrestled before that maybe in a certain situation could be interesting. There's also the business side of things. What's the biggest possible match for CM Punk? I think there's Kenny Omega on the one side. And, you know, unfortunately, ironically enough, for me to go back to WWE, who's the biggest match for me is probably Triple H. That's ironic because it's nothing I'm interested in. It's just is what it is. Am I going to be a businessman and say that's the match? That's the big money match? Well, it's not my money, so it's not for me to say. So there you go, Finn. He thinks that Kenny Omega is the big AEW match if he went there, and he thinks Triple H is the big WWE match if he went there. Do you agree with both of those picks that in his mind they would be the biggest box office matches if he was to lace the boots up again?
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah. I mean, but what a non-committal answer. What a non-committal statement at the end. So I'm not going to say if I'm going to go or not, or, you know, it's not my money. So it's not for me to say. What the hell does that mean, Kenny?
I mean, it's called deflecting. It's called deflecting the question.
I mean, it's like, you know, for a guy who's, you know, straight talker and, you know, somebody who throughout his life has been, you know, fighting against the machine and, you know, just being his own man and speaking his mind. He didn't really say anything at all in that statement, apart from these two potential matches could be big. But he didn't say whether or not he was interested in having. Well, he did actually say that he didn't want to have the Triple H match, right? It doesn't interest him. That's what he said, wasn't it?
Doesn't interest him, but he does think that was what the biggest match would be. I mean, I think he's right. I mean, I think if he was to come back and do anything with, you know, Seth Rollins or whoever, it wouldn't. AJ Styles, it wouldn't feel massive, but Triple H probably would feel really big if they went for it.
Oh, it would feel enormous because the story would write itself. We all know why he left. We all know that there's genuine tension there, and obviously still some to some extent in 2021. So they could just write that into the storyline, and it's beautiful. I mean, that's, you know, the ultimate work, or at least in terms of what's going on now. That would be, you know, for the 2020s, it would be the ultimate work shoot program, followed by the match. And to me, it's like, is he going to come back or is he not going to come back? I mean, I wish he'd just take a leaf out of the Undertaker's book and make a decision about his future, you know, rather than dithering and teasing his fans with these matches, which may or may not happen. I mean, what is the point of this? You know, he did the interview, didn't he, with Renee Paquette, saying, "Oh, you know, to come back, I'd need the stupidest amount of money." Well, why? You know, why not come back for your fans? You know, why would you need the stupidest amount of money? I just can't explain that one. It's like, why not come? If you could say to it, if you want to be the ultimate, you know, virtue signaler, say, right, I'm going to come back for a shoot. Well, it wouldn't even be virtue signaling. Say, right, I'm going to come back, but they're going to have to pay me a lot of money, and I'm going to give 50% of that to charity. That wouldn't be virtue signaling. That would actually be acting. That would be actually taking money and giving it to a good cause. So, I mean, I think something like that would go down really well with his audience. It's like, yeah, I'm coming back. They pay me all this cash, but I'm going to give a load of it away to like worthy causes. Why not do that? But to me, what he needs to do is just make a decision. Is he going to wrestle again or isn't he? And that's all I really want to hear from CM Punk. Not all this speculation and, you know, supposition and, you know, dangling these carrots that we may never get a bite out of. It's like, you know, and the thing is, he wouldn't really do this if he didn't like the publicity, which indicates to me that, you know, maybe one day he is going to come back and he's just trying to increase his market value so he gets the maximum amount of money from whichever company he decides to sign with. I mean, I don't think the Kenny Omega match would really do that much business. The match that's going to do the numbers is the match with Triple H. To me, he's in a position of power. If he wants to do business, he should go back to WWE, you know, really just, you know, kind of like what Goldberg did when he came back. Because obviously he'd had that 2003, 2004 experience, Kenny, which he detested, didn't he? And
Hated
then
it. Hated it.
he returned, and he kind of, and it was really good for him personally to go back, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, he loved it.